Hillary Clinton. Right now, she is light years ahead of any potential Democrat opponent, but there are beginning to be rumblings from the left. People want, a handful of people want somebody to run against Hillary in the Democratic primary. Let's take a look at some of those people, and I'll front load it for you, okay? I think that any one of these people would be a good choice. If you're a Hillary supporter, any of the names that I'm going to give you would be they'd be a great president. If you want to murder babies, if you want the sacrament of marriage to be just cast aside and have a new creation of, I don't know, even worse than ancient Greece, kind of Sodom and Gomorrah feel. If you want those things, then I highly recommend that you vote for some of the people I'm going to show you right now. But by the way, just be forewarned, you might spend eternity in the lake of fire. All right? I mean, what good is it if you gain the White House, but you lose your soul? But I digress. All right, some of the potential Hillary opponents. Vice President Joe Biden. He is very popular. He's got huge name recognition. He has tried to run for president before. Most vice presidents since Harry Truman run for president. The problem is he's 50 points behind Hillary right now. 50 points. So the ability for him to make up that kind of point spread is nearly impossible. And at points he can be a bit of a buffoon, all right? He really has, he takes his foot out of his mouth often so that he can change socks. But he's got a lot of foolish verbal baggage that he'll have to deal with. But he could run, all right? You've got recently the idea that Governor Jerry Brown of California could run. Now, for those of you who don't remember that far back, he actually ran before for president, ran in 1992. It was kind of a bitter battle back then between him and Bill Clinton. The problem is for him is that he is 78, might as well be 98 years old. He's 78 years old. That's old. I mean, President Reagan was the oldest president to be elected to the White House, and he was 69 when he won. So the thought of a 78-year-old running in America, that's probably not going to happen. Well, let's look for a youthful star, one of the most demonic, wicked, perverse men in politics today, Andrew Cuomo, son of former Governor Mario Cuomo, a man who I had the pleasure of protesting many times over the years. Mario Cuomo ran, or was going to run in '92, but allegedly there was a significant piece that was in the waiting about his connections to the mafia, and at the last minute he bailed out. And that is what paved the way for the Clinton presidency, by the way, was Mario Cuomo pulling out, because he was the favored front runner. But whatever it was that he was hiding, whatever skeletons in the closet, he pulled out. His son, by the way, lives with his girlfriend, but goes to Mass, and the Catholic powers that be in Albany and in New York City don't have the moral compass and the courage to say to him, you may not receive Holy Communion while you are promoting the murder of babies, legalizing so-called same-gender marriage in New York State, and while you are in open cohabitation with your girlfriend. So this is a man who could run. All right, let's look at the next one. Howard Dean, former governor of Vermont. I had the pleasure, you'll enjoy this footage, this shot of me and a group of my cohorts shouting him down and shutting a meeting down in which he was speaking back in the D.C. area a few years ago. He is another baby-killing maniac, and he's a bit of a maniac. He sabotaged himself when he swung that baseball bat, screamed his lungs out a few years ago when he might have won the nomination. Then you've got Kirsten Gillibrand of New York. She is a suit, okay? This is not an intelligent woman. She is, of course, a baby killer. She is, of course, at war with marriage. She is, of course, a Catholic, and, of course, she has not been told by her bishop that she is in sin and may not come to Holy Communion. These are some of the people that you might see jump in the race against Hillary. They're all bona fide baby killers in open war against God and his holy laws. Their hands are drenched with blood. But we can be sure that if history repeats itself, about half of the Catholics out there will vote for them, and about a third of the evangelicals will vote for them, because they care more about party loyalty or government giveaways than they do about the lives of innocent babies and about the covenant and the sacrament of marriage created by God himself. God save us from our enemies. God save us from our friends.